Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we got something super exciting. We have an update on the sea turtles. We've had tracks found here at Arillas Beach for the past 3 years and never any baby turtles. We've been marking the nest this whole time and hoping, but nothing has hatched. My thoughts are that it gets too wet, and especially here by these cliffs, it's too shady. But this morning I was at the beach, and this is the nest, and look, we've got lots of little tracks. You can see where they've moved their little flippers. Going down here, and these little guys have to navigate these rocks. And I think if we establish a culture of a leave no trace here at the beach, that will help the turtles. So this is really exciting, and this nest was made on July 2. So that's, if these came out this morning, then this is the 48th day, which I'm surprised because the estimates I've read is 45 to 60 days, and just because this is so shady, I thought, okay, well, it's got to be at the tail end of that range. But here we are, and this is just so exciting. Then the next piece of news is that there was another nest down here by Dimitri Sunbeds. And Dimitri said he saw an actual baby turtle, and just one. And I didn't see the tracks for it. I'm not sure which day that was. He said, I don't know, it was a couple of days ago. He had a picture, so that's crazy. And it's crazy because those got wet. They got totally soaked overnight, and it was my thought, and people had told me, oh, if they get wet, then they're finished, they're not gonna hatch yet. One of those little guys made it out, so that's incredible. And so now the next nest, the next one in line, is the July 19th nest, which is all the way at the north, in the middle of the nude beach at the north end. And the problem with that one is that got wet, and after it got wet, I thought, okay, well, those aren't viable. The bamboo protection I'd put up had washed away, and I didn't bother replacing it. And so, yeah, I need to go put it back up and mark the nest so we can see if we're gonna get some babies out of there. Okay, so this is the nesting spot that was made on June 28th. And this is where the live hatchling that Dimitri saw must have come from. And again, the protection that I put up with the bamboo had washed away, and I didn't, I really thought these were not viable because they'd gotten so wet. And then I don't know the date of this one, I have to double check, but this was the one that the mayor's office had marked. And I don't think any hatchlings came out of here because, one, this is later, and two, I don't see any tracks coming out of here. But this is part of the problem of having two systems of marking the nest, is this looks, kind of official and elaborate, and the bamboo markings I had are not elaborate. and so I think people thought that they weren't legitimate. And we had a couple weeks there where people were actively taking those down and ripping the signs off and moving the bamboo up on the hill, and it was just really strange and disappointing and upsetting. And I was going down there every day. I was bringing paper signs every morning. Okay, well, they're going to tear them down, I'm going to put it back up, and constantly having to redo that. So I'm going to walk over here to, these are the two nests that were made July 20th, this one, and this is July 23rd. And again, for about a week, somebody was coming down here every day and taking these pieces of bamboo and putting them up on the hill and tearing down the signs. And it was upsetting, and it took a lot of energy to come down here every day and put them back up. So what's interesting now, or exciting, is that those last two nests I showed you by Dimitri sunbeds, those got very wet. And so we did have one turtle coming out of there. And these guys are much farther away from the sea, and they've stayed a lot drier, and they get full sun. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible. All right, well, thanks for watching, and that's the Big Turtle Update. Okay, so the last piece of information is there's two other nesting sites. One is in front of Tim's little boat tower, and I don't know the date of that one because I didn't find it. That was also protected by the mayor's office, and that's in a good spot because it gets full sun. The sand there, it hasn't gotten wet. Sand is still nice and fluffy. And the other one is in front of the Mirage, and that nest was reported on July 23rd, and I didn't find that one, someone else did. And it was reported that those eggs not only got wet, but they had washed out of the nest. And so people had put them back in, and again, because they got wet, I didn't bother maintaining the bamboo, and I don't, yeah, maybe I'll go back and put up the bamboo now that I know that a little bit of water, or sometimes a lot of water, is not a death sentence for the eggs. All right, thank you very much. That's the Big Turtle Update.